Hey guys, welcome back to THIKI, episode 4. And I've been seeing a lot of my friends posting their stuff and their endeavors online, and it makes me question my abilities. And you know what they say, comparison is the thief of joy. I think that's how the saying goes. And I'm feeling it really, really hard right now. Anyways, seeing them succeeding should make me feel 100% amazing. Should like congratulations, you're doing it. You're doing this big thing, you know? But for some reason, it makes me feel bad about myself. I know what you're saying. Like it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to compare yourself to people, but that's not really where I'm coming from. It's not that I see them and I want exactly what they have. It's the fact that I see them and I see all the work that I haven't put in myself. And I guess if you think back to episode 1, it's kind of going with what I said over there. I struggled to start. I struggled to do these things and to push myself to pursue them. That's one thing I'm seeing these days, my friends doing their endeavors and different art forms and meeting these people, seeing these um, ideas come to life. And that's something I feel like I should be able to do too. I should be in these spaces. I should be reaching these goals that I've set for myself. But because I failed to start, it never really happened. Of course, it doesn't happen because if you don't do it, how's something going to happen? It just made me start thinking about comparison and the different ways we compare ourselves to other people. This is as much for me as it is for those of you out there, but don't let other people's success stop you from achieving your own goals. So often we get caught up in seeing all these successful people on Instagram or Snapchat or YouTube or whatever, and we look at them and we're like, I don't have what it takes to get there. What you don't see is all the work they put in behind the scenes, the hours they spend grinding, the amount of time it took them to get to where they were. A lot of the times they were just like you and me. They started with a bare bones camera, no fancy lighting equipment or setups, and they just started doing it. And over time, they got to where they were. Especially in the arts, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon for sure. You have to work your way up. You have to do. You have to do. And that's something I want to challenge to you, and I'm challenging myself to start doing. Those of you who know me know that that's my new ideology on life is just start doing. We spend so much time thinking, planning, making sure everything works out exactly the way we have in our mind, or making sure we are equipped with all the right like tools or understanding or knowledge to be able to do something. But I want to challenge you to just go do it. Just start. And it's a very cliche thing that I'm hearing these days. I met an actor downtown and asked him like, what should I do to be where you are? Like, what should I do to get into this industry? And he was like, you have a phone? I was like, yeah, I have a phone. Start recording. Just press record, because that's the only thing you can really do. You're stuck in a limbo. You have nothing to create unless you press record, unless you start doing, start writing, start drawing. And it's interesting. It's very interesting to me because for people like me, I very much into having all those tools, into being fully prepared so that when I go into something, like most things are in my control, that I'm able to assess all the variables and go from there because I already have the knowledge that okay, this could have happened or this is how I respond to this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I think we get lost in that stage of planning. We get lost in the knowledge phase. I watch a lot of YouTube videos talking about this exact thing, and there's so many other out there. I encourage you to go watch those as well instead of my ramblings. But after this video, you just have to understand that planning is only phase one. Planning is how you start. It is not how you finish. I'm going to give you an example for me. When it comes to the short films I've created, I have wanted to plan to the T, like have everything mapped out, have the budget, the costumes, equipment, everything planned out efficiently and properly before we get on. I always had to make sure that everything was done before we got on set. And that's something you're supposed to do for film. You're supposed to have everything pre-production and then come in and get her done. But I find that for me, I can get lost in that planning and perfection. And it makes it harder to get on set, harder to plan. It never feels like you're truly ready. There's always going to be something missing. Going back to my original train of thought, seeing my friends or people I know doing all these great big things with their art, with their lives, and putting in the work to get to where they are, it really shouldn't make me feel worse about myself. I should be able to pivot, be able to look at their success and be like, this is what I want for myself, and go from there, rather than being, why aren't you here? Why are they doing this? You're just as good as them, which is not a good mentality whatsoever. It's a very toxic mentality, honestly. But it's about understanding that you can be where they are. You just have to put in the work and start doing. So I'm gonna start doing. Simple as that. There's really not much else. And like I said in the last video, I'm doing my monthly activity sprint, I guess you could call it. So this month is writing. I'm focusing a lot more on my scripts and stuff. And I encourage you to find your own ways to start doing. It's difficult to go into something blind, but you have to start before you know how. Unless you're going to get stuck in that feedback loop of perfectionism. And as artists, it's one of the greatest burdens or tragedies that plagues our community, because we want to be perfect. We want everything to be perfect. But newsflash, nothing is perfect. Everything is going to have some imperfection, some little mistake, or just something that makes it not what you had up here in your head. And that's what we have to live with. And we have to let that not be a roadblock for creating and expressing art. Yeah. I'm going to stop comparing myself to all these other people and let me grow and do the work to get to where I want to be. And I hope you do too. And that's how I know it. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you next time.